And informal letter. And when we are talking about informal letter, they are letters. They are letters. Letters written to family and friends, family and what friends or relatives, close associates, close associates. It is. In other words, informal letter are known as what? Or familiar, familiar what? Letters. They are letters written to those that we are very, very what? Familiar, familiar with. You understand me? They are the type of letters written to those that we are very, very familiar with. And when you are looking at the features, features of informal letter, talking about features of informal letter, but if you are watching this video for the first time, this is my channel where I teach students across the world, across the globe, English language, all the aspects of English language, then sometimes a little bit of literature. No, now, but majorly English. Now, if you are preparing for any exam, you're in Nigeria, you're in Africa, you're in America, US, any part of the world you are, and you found interest in learning the rudiments of English language, this channel is for you. This channel is for you. We are going to learn a lot from here. Now, if you click on the channel, you will see previous classes we've had. So you can watch and learn from it. If you want to reach out to me personally, you can reach out to me. Or you want to make a comment, observation, you drop it at the comment section. But meanwhile, please don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe. Click on the subscribe button so that you can become part of the family. You understand? One love. Then let's move. So if you're talking about the features of this informal letter, or how do you know informal letter? For one, the use it has informal what? Informal what? Language. It allows informal what? Language. It allows informal language. For example, examples of informal language, or you have something like what's up, how you did, how you did. If you are in Nigeria, this is balance. You have things like baby, how things now, baby, how things now. You know, familiarity concept and the rest. Why? Because you are writing to someone that you are very close to. Imagine you are writing to your classmates, you are writing to your girlfriend, you are writing to your boyfriend. You know, these things are, you know the kind of language you use. They are all informal. Informal. So most often times we refer to these informal languages as what? Colloquialism. Colloquialism. What? Colloquialism. In other words, they are what? Informal what? Languages. Informal what? Languages. So you've seen the definition of informal letter, you've seen the features. It has informal language. Example, what's up? This and that. Babe, how you doing? Babe, how things now? Stuff like that. you know Most often I probably how closer the person is, can say big head, see this food, stuff like that. You can incorporate those things in your write-up, and they are all out loud because it is what? Informal. So this number one feature. So we move. Let me give you so on our number two feature, informal letter has only only what? One address. Only one address, or which which is the what? Address of what? The writer. Which is the what? Address of the what? Writer. For example, if you're a student, it's always expected that you should use the address of your school. You understand me? For example, you can say Kings Way High. No, it is always good that when you are writing your address, that when you're writing your writer's address, you should make sure that it's in block form. And apart from being block form, make sure that a single expression is ending at the end of your writing material. Don't stop breaking things anyhow that is not worth breaking. For example, you make sure you calculate it. Kings Way I was school, put comma. Are you seeing it? Or you have let's say kilometer 3 Olojo what? Road. Are you seeing it? Or let's say or let's say Isolo LG Lagos Lagos State. Are you seeing? Kingsway High School kilometer 3 Olojo Road Isolo LGL Lagos State. Then you put your what? You put your date. Now that's what comes on the number 3 feature, which is your what? Date. Which is your what? Date. So you put your date. Are you seeing it? Kingsway. So after that, you put your date on that very day. The date. See, even if you are submitting the letter, or your receiver is receiving the letter next month, next week, next year, or tomorrow, the day that you are writing that letter should be the date that should be in that your letter, right? For example, we can say 20th, 20th January, January 21, 25, then full stop. Now, mind you, look at our January. I can look at our January. Now, if you write your January in full, you don't need to put uh, semicolon. But if it is in abbreviated, you put what? Semicolon. So this is writer's what? Writer's address, and of course date. I believe you got this right. So we move, we move, we move. So that is everything that you need to know about informal letter. So we'll still proceed from here. But if you have any question, observation, drop it at the comment section. We move to number four feature for informal letter. Now, informal letter, in terms of the salutation, just because immediately after your address, date, the next thing that will come is the salutation. Salutation, you can, because now you are writing to somebody that is very, very familiar with you. So what you are going to be doing is to address the person by name. For example, we can say, oh, oh, dear daddy, are you seeing it? Oh, dear mommy, dear auntie Simi, are you seeing it? Dear what? Auntie Simi, are you seeing it? Dear brother promise, are you seeing it? Now, after each of these salutations, make sure you are putting what? Comma, comma. comma. So this is your salutation. I don't know if you're getting me. So all these things are example. Immediately after your dear, all these things will put dear see me, dear mommy, dear auntie see me, dear brother, as the case may be. Now immediately after your salutation, now comes the fifth thing, which is what? Your what? Introduction. Yes, informal letter has introduction. Informal letter is where you briefly state the reason behind your letter writing and exchange pleasantries. Exchange pleasantries. Introduction. For example, after you have had your salutation, you can say, Dear, dear, what? Your introduction will now come. Dear Auntie Simi, how are you doing? How is work? How is everything? How is Port Harcourt? How is US? How is Germany? How is Canada? How is work over there? Hope the code is not too much. Oh, definitely, I'm missing you so much. Ever since we came back for that last holiday, I really had a nice time with you. I'm looking forward again to having such a pleasant moment with you again. Do you understand what I'm saying? So those are the things in the introduction. But that notwithstanding, I want to use this moment to write to you to check if you got home safely. Do you understand what I'm saying? To know if you have gotten home safely or how your trip was while traveling back to your what host country. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now your essence of writing the 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 letter is what to let the person know, and like you want to know if you got back home safely from the holiday trip she came in with. Now, one peculiar thing about informal letter, it has no title, unlike formal letter. It has no title, there's no like title. So after your dear this, you move with the what? Your introduction. Then after the introduction, you move into the what? Body of the letter. Body of the letter. Body of letter is segmented into paragraphs. It could be paragraph one or paragraph two, paragraph three, as the case may be. It is as the case may be. So you need to understand all these concepts very well. That is body of the word letter. Do you understand me? So now after that again, after you have discussed now in the body of the letter, what will come is your six, which is what? Conclusion. Conclusion is where you summarize everything you have stated in the letter. Now, what you have in the body of the letter could be paragraph one, could be paragraph two, could be paragraph three, depending on your reason of writing. Now, there as a student, you need to know how to develop your points. Your essence of writing is to know if your sister actually got home safely from the trip she came in last. Your one of your paragraphs could be how you felt during the time she was around, how in depth, how beautiful your life was. Another two could be again to remind her probably a valuable document she forgot in your house. That is the paragraph two. So you should be able to know how to fabricate points, how to develop critical thinking and brainstorming of facts. You think things out to make sure that you stretch out your write-up. Do you understand? To stretch out your write-up. So after everything, you put paragraph three. If you know how paragraph three, fine. You can even have paragraph three, paragraph four, as the case may be, depending on whatever you are addressing. Now, your conclusion is where you summarizes all the things you have been writing so far. After conclusion, you summarize. For example, your summary will come as, I'm glad to write you this, especially to check on how your trip was, probably to know if you got home safely. And of course, I believe you've heard everything I've stated, especially remind you of the things you forgot, the traveling document, and how you have made my holiday so beautiful due to my staying with you while you came in for the trip and the rest. You summarize most of the things you've said and concluded. Then after the concluding, that is where the closing now comes in. That is where that is where the closing now. That is where the closing or what's called subscription. So in your closing, we have many varieties, many variations. For example, your closing comes at the right side of the bottom of your paper without any signature. Don't put any signature. Now, don't put your full name. Don't put any signature. Don't put your full name. What is expected there is your first name, your subscription with an apostrophe comma, then followed by your first name. For example, uh, your lovely, your lovely uh, niece, Amaka. Are you seeing it? You can still write something like this. As the case may be, your son, your son, uh, uh, Phil, Phil. You see something like this? Uh, you can still have something like this. Yours, cherish, Obina. I don't know if you are seeing it. So these are different parameters depending on what you are writing. And this is the end of our class for today. So click on my YouTube channel there on the link on the channel there. You will see all the classes we'll be having, so you may find a lot of them worthy to learn from. Then recommend this my channel to your loved ones who are in the world of English language, be it they are students or they are want to engage in adult classes, they want to learn good rudiment of English, because this channel is on emotion. We have a lot of loaded works coming in. I am set to give you guys all the, you know, idiots of English language, whatever, all the aspects of English language, you will see it on this my channel. So be prepared for me, because I'm already in motion to give you whatever you want, be it any level of academic uh, ambience you want. If you have any reason to reach out to me, please do. If you have any observation, drop it. Then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel.